Some true crime cases begin with a mystery. This one begins with a lie. On Christmas Eve of 2002, a pregnant woman disappeared from her home in Modesto, California. This is the story of Laci Peterson and the man who never planned for her to come home. On the morning of December 24th, 2002, a heavily pregnant woman named Laci Peterson vanished from her quiet Modesto, California neighborhood. She was 8 months pregnant. She had plans for Christmas Eve, and she never made it home. What initially looked like a tragic missing person case would slowly unravel into one of the most chilling examples of deception hiding in plain sight. Laci Peterson was 27 years old, warm, social, deeply loved by her family, and excitedly preparing for the arrival of her first child, a baby boy she planned to name Connor. Friends described her as optimistic, gentle, and devoted to her marriage. Her husband, Scott Peterson, told police that morning that Laci had been walking their dog before he left to go fishing at the Berkeley Marina. By the time Scott returned home that evening, Laci was gone. The dog was found wandering the neighborhood, leash still attached. Her purse, shoes, and car were still at the house. There were no signs of forced entry, no struggle. Within hours, the case exploded into a national media frenzy. At first, Scott appeared calm, almost too calm. He gave interviews, he joined search efforts, he stood beside Laci's grieving family. But cracks began to form. Fast. Investigators soon discovered that Scott had been leading a double life. He was having an affair with another woman, Amber Frey, who believed she was dating a widower. Even more disturbing? Scott had told Amber, before Laci disappeared, that this would be his first Christmas without his wife. As the investigation deepened, surveillance showed Scott making unusual purchases, including a fishing license and materials later tied to homemade anchors. Then came the location. Scott claimed he went fishing, alone, on Christmas Eve at the Berkeley Marina. Months later, in April of 2003, the unthinkable happened. The remains of Laci Peterson and her unborn son were discovered along the shoreline of the San Francisco Bay, not far from where Scott said he had been fishing. The evidence was devastating. Concrete anchors, inconsistent statements, incriminating phone records, and a husband whose story never quite lined up. Scott Peterson was arrested, tried and convicted of first-degree murder for Laci and second-degree murder for their unborn child. In 2004, a jury found him guilty. In 2005, he was sentenced to death, later commuted to life without parole. Laci Peterson didn't vanish. She was erased by someone who should have protected her. And her case remains a reminder of something deeply uncomfortable. Sometimes the danger isn't a stranger in the shadows. Sometimes it's the person standing right next to you, smiling for the cameras. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more true crime cases.